morning, everyone. Good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, and welcome to this week's Weekly Energy Boost. My name is Elishava, and today Eitan and I are speaking about the art of waiting. This is a week in which the world is hurrying to slow down, rushing to take a break, and also in the spirit of this month, Sagittarius, it's very common for Sagittarians to be impatient and to want to skip to the end of the process. But most specifically this week, the universe is asking us, inviting us, guiding us, if we're open to it, to embrace the processes that are naturally occurring in our lives, really to strengthen our trust in the Creator, our trust in the light, our trust even in our own selves, in the light within each one of us, to manifest great things. And as we'll learn, patience and waiting is often a test that helps us earn and truly own the blessings and miracles that we're striving to achieve. Weekly Energy Boost is a 7-day spiritual weather forecast where we offer our listeners the most powerful and practical tools we know from the teachings of Kabbalah. We do this by sharing stories, teachings, tips, and tools to take advantage of this week's energy. And the result is timeless wisdom that you can use any week of the year, any year of your life. And I feel that especially as we wind down 2024, some people are more than happy to leave behind this year, what's happened, to start a fresh page. And as we wind down these next 2 weeks, we want to make sure that we're not missing anything or avoiding any opportunities to reveal light simply because we want to wrap things up, put them away, or even more importantly, especially in the areas of our life in which we don't see results, that we don't jump the gun or take matters into our own hands, and which would result in basically a much more limited outcome than we deeply and truly want. So Eitan, I'm going to turn the mic over to you. How do you see this impatience or this compulsion to finish things or to get them done or to manifest? How does it get in the way of the blessings that we desire, that we're working toward, and we're meant to have?
Yeah, I would like to start with the word patience in Hebrew, even for those of us who don't know and understand Hebrew. It's savlanut. And within the word patience, which is savlanut in Hebrew, you have the word sevel, the root of the word savlanut. Sevel means discomfort or suffering. So bring us definitions of patience for discomfort, temporary discomfort. So Kabbalistically, that's first the big rule, the big universal law. Greater the patience for temporary discomfort, greater your capacity to handle long-term blessings. Temporary discomfort is the price. Temporary discomfort is the price to receive, to handle, to allow long-term blessings. So each one of us is manifested itself in different ways. For example, for me, I rather skip emotions that are undesirable. Fear, a little anger, hurt. My natural tendency of my ego is to push this away and to be strong and not to deal with it. I've learned for myself, each one of us, according to our own life lesson / tikkun, we need to learn to have patience to what? And for me, the ability to stay and to be present and to sit a little bit with patience without thinking something wrong going to happen if you're going to sit. You are weak, you're going down. Actually, with patience, miracles will happen. So, but I think one of the most difficult things that also connected to this weekly energy boost is when you get hurt by someone. It triggers for all of us, consciously or subconsciously. Or you experience unfair situation that was triggered by someone. Someone hurt you. It awakened the opposite of patience, grudge, and desire for revenge. Think about it. Revenge is the only way I will be happy, or the only way the grudge will go away, it will be a payback. I have to pay back. And we really feel it when we're angry, when we're upset, when we've been treated unfairly. And it's human emotions. It's part of the process. So I want to bring it back to you. How do you apply forgiveness and patience, Elisheva, dealing with these feelings of grudge or unfairness? Let's say you're right. Let's say objectively you were treated unfairly. So how does forgiveness and patience are connected to each other?
Well, I'm at a bit of an advantage as a Kabbalah teacher that this is the something that I have to talk to people about a lot. And even in my own home, guiding my children according to these principles, these teachings, it's probably one of the things I have to remind them the most. First of all, I think in general, when you talk about grudge and revenge, maybe some people are saying, that's not me. In any arena where there's competition, right? In any context where what happens is between me and another person, there can be that element of holding a grudge or seeking revenge. Or maybe even if you're not seeking to do the revenge yourself, you're hoping the universe is going to give them some situation that will make you feel vindicated. I always tell my kids, even between them, one another, the Creator is better at making sure people get what they need, better than any of you could do. So sometimes she started it, right? Or he did it first, right? So the second one wants to hit back or retaliate. I remind them that because of each person's own personal baggage, the laws of cause and effect are perfect. If the person who did the wrong, like you said, objectively, if they actually did wrong, if they opted for selfishness, for harm, for hurt, that will come back to them. Not in the way that I think is best for them, but in the way that will be best for them to balance what they put out. And the same goes for me. Anytime I'm going to operate from selfishness, from revenge, from trying to harm or hurt someone, the universe will help balance the energy that I put out there by giving me something to equalize that, to neutralize it. So when we try to take matters into our own hands, I think in a very subtle level for a lot of people, when they are hurt by someone, whether the hurt was intentional or not, many people want to hurt back, say something in return that's just as hurtful, or to withhold love or treat the other person differently because of how they were treated. That by nature is showing the universe that we don't trust, that we don't. Where is our certainty when we have to take matters into our own hands? Where is our trust when we believe it's between me and the other person, and the light of the Creator is exempt from this scenario? And so part of it is training ourselves to recognize that even though there's a stick that may have poked me right now, and where it poked me, it's hurting, the stick is held by the Creator, or the person is the stick. So this is happening in my movie for a reason, and I don't want to accumulate damage. I don't want to attract a negative scenario into my life because I take matters into my own hands. I'd rather let the universe do its job and let me do my job, which is working on me, not working on the other person. So I know that was maybe a more winding answer than you were looking for, but I think part of it is understanding on a high level that I don't want to be busy attracting chaos into my life by taking matters into my own hands and retaliating or seeking revenge on the other person. At the same time, I can tell you that many times those little scenarios will come to tempt us to be busy with, I shouldn't say stupid, with the wrong things, because we were about to achieve something really powerful. And the negative forces in the universe say, let's tempt her to be distracted by something petty and something, insignificant that will bother her and consume her. And she'll stop putting energy toward this great revelation of light that she's been waiting for a long time. So I also see that the universe, is trying to tell us, don't sell yourself short. You can have so much more. Don't be focused on the petty, insignificant little things. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Don't let it drag you down.
So to summarize it as a tool for life that connects to forgiveness and patience, number one, every time something, according to your perception, unfair happened to you by someone else, while initially you love the initial reactions and emotions and victim and some fears and sense of justice and revenge, pause and remember the truth. The light of the Creator is the one that's running the show. And while maybe that person was not okay, the light of the Creator presenting that unfair situation for me, for you, that by me not reacting to the situation itself and by me accepting this difficulty as opportunity to grow. Number one, just accepting and trusting it's for my best. Number two, asking what's my lessons? And what about him? You might need to deal with him in a certain way, but let go of that. Then you open the door for magic to happen. But the issue is, sometimes it doesn't happen right away. I forgave. I was open to know it's for my best. I want to see results right away. Patience. That's part of building spiritual muscles. Do the right thing. Inject the right energy. Give more love. Let go of your grudge. And trust. When it will come, the Rav Berg used to say, the moment you say, how come it didn't come? You delay the process. Now, does it mean I should turn the other cheek and let the other person continue being my friend and take over? No, of course. Part of the lessons you need to learn is, don't be vulnerable to those people, or sometimes even actually protect yourself in business and sue them. But the emotions of grudge and anger is denying the fact that the unseen light is the one that's presenting every situation my way. And you need to have patience. Patience doesn't mean that the other person will be hurt. Wishing for someone to be hurt will never get you benefit and blessing. But number two, I thought about another thing, seeking justice. Actually, real fulfillment, according to Rav Ashlag, real true fulfillment and inner peace comes when we see perfect order how the universe works. Perfect laws of cause and effect, action, reaction. Your mind is in the right place, light comes. Your mind is in the wrong place, light doesn't come. So in a soul level, we all would love to see this beautiful order of divine loving universe. The problem is that justice, when we say how all the dots are connected, are not meant to be seen now. How come I don't see justice? And for that, we need to have the patience. And then suddenly look back at your life. You went through a major challenge in your life, in relationship, in health, in business. At the time, you didn't see the big picture. You didn't see how the dots are connected. You didn't see how it was for your best. But now, 5 years later, 2 years later, suddenly you see it was part of a perfect plan to help me to go to the next level. And the rule is, when you're impatient, with your perception is there's no justice here, you actually block yourself or delay the process when you see how the dots are connected. How it's perfectly, I needed that lesson. It helped me to go to the next level and so on. So the question is, how fast am I letting go of justice and instant revenge and holding grudge and trusting that this is for my best to learn lessons between me and the Creator? It will determine how fast I'll see the miracles and the big picture, until it will fall into place much better than my original expectation.
So you bring up two things. One, I think part of the impatience that people experience is that they want to see the justice. And sometimes the justice is served in another lifetime, or in between lifetimes. And we're not always privileged to witness the balancing act of the universe. So that's one thing that I think is important, is that just because you aren't seeing the other person suffering doesn't mean that justice isn't being served. But two, and I had a student who came to me this week and asked me about a friend that they have that they really want to help them. That this friend has been out of a job for over a year, not because lack of ability or expertise or a beautiful resume, so much experience, etc., but for whatever reason, she's not finding a job. What can a person in that position, a person who has been, should, I'm putting that in air quotes, should have what they need, should receive, they're not asking for something crazy, a job, a house, promotion, relationship, right? These are not extraordinary luxuries. These are basic things that people have in their lives. Why is this person not getting what she is working toward? And how can her friend was asking me, how can she support her to open up to first speeding up her process, but also not feeling victim, not feeling abused by the universe, not feeling left out or ignored?
So I think my approach with myself, with family members and with students is, you need to look at every day as a new lifetime. You need to start from scratch. And if you're holding on the grudge and it's already 60 days I'm out of a job, and today is the 61 day, I don't have patience. Every day you need to find, and that's what part of meditations and spiritual prayer, to bring yourself back to the idea is, I'm doing my maximum effort externally to apply for the job with hopes, with certainty. The universe wants to give me the ability to support myself in this particular case. But at the same time, internally, to ask myself, what's my judgments about life, about other people, about comparing? And that's what I need every day to reboot my system. And even though I have judgments and grudges towards the universe, how come? And that's what victim is about, judgments about the universe. Sometimes you cannot just let go of judgment or grudges. I'm asking the Creator, please, every day is a new day, a new effort. Please, the Creator, help me to release the judgment. I know it's for my best, and I know who knows what I'm cleansing to my effort. Do I see the big picture? None of us sees the big picture. So that's the fact that you don't just another day and another day. You're looking at every day as a new day, new energy, new hopes, and you begging the Creator to help you to cleanse the attachments to I'm suffering so much. And another thing about seeking justice, it's very important. You know, the Rav Berg once said something very powerful. What you wish for other people, that's what you are going to attract for yourself. When you're saying, I want to see justice, I want the other person to suffer the consequence of what they've done, you know what you're actually basically saying? Universe, if I deserve any suffering for the short circuit, for the selfish behavior, from the unconscious behavior and thoughts that I had, please bring it on. Are you really ready for that? Do you want life to be governed by the merciful energy of the Creator, that even though you've done a mistake, you have a chance to change it? Or you want instant justice for every mistake? So remember, when you seek justice for someone that caused you suffering, you're at the same time seeking justice for yourself. Are you ready for that?
Very powerful. I think also in today's age that the quest for justice and serving the unjust, it's an important, we need to be the voice for people who don't have a voice, but at the same time be careful about attracting greater justice, I think the cause and effect moves faster. And when we talk about being like the light, right? The light really gives every individual limitless chances to correct, to redirect, to revise, to reinvent themselves. And even though we need to have boundaries sometimes and be able to acknowledge this situation or this person isn't right for me, but also to trust that the light is going to take care of the situation better than we ever could, and to really let the light take care of it. Be patient, allow the universe to work in the way that it works best, and be busy with the things that we can control and that will in turn bring us goodness and blessings and miracles. Thank you. Weekly Energy Boost is available on all podcast platforms, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. You can also find us at weeklyenergyboost.com, where we have our archives, where you can read about the things that we think are important. And also, of course, you can click the donate button to support our podcast. But most importantly, please continue to share, to like, rate, and review wherever you're listening. And we'll see you next week on the Weekly Energy Boost.